Look at all this loot! DJ, none for you! Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I'm going to be showing off some really cool stuff here. I have the new Proton rounds as sold by Out of Darts and produced by Foam Blast. They are awesome, and I will go into an in-depth review on them, their consistency, their style, their cost, all of that. But first, let's fire them. Alright, we're now going to check the FPS, firing these out of my dual Proton pack, which are modified Zeuses running on 3S lipos, so we'll see how consistent the FPS is. I have no idea if my chronograph can keep up with this or how well this is going to work, but we're going to find out. I'm just going to dump the whole 100, or give or take, however many's still in there. I think there's probably 97. I fired 3 as a test. Here we go! Well, there you go. So, luckily, very suitable for HVZ. Now, let's try the white. See how many yellow are left in there from previously. I get the feeling the chronograph's having trouble picking up the white rounds on a white background with a cloudy sky. I could be wrong, but that's a theory. Anyway, when it did pick stuff up, around the same? I don't know, firing out of a modified Zeus is really not a very good test. Let's go do some springers and some more steady options. I just really wanted to do a full dump with both tanks. Up next, we're going to fire 5 rounds out of this 10 kilogram Chronos. At least I think it's a 10 kilogram Chronos. We're going to find out. Interesting. It got progressively worse. Let's hope that trend doesn't continue with the blue rounds. Weird. Interesting. Probably need to tune these. They came with replacement O-rings that I never put in. Alright, let's move on to the next option. Alright, up next we're going to put 10 rounds of each through my modified Artemis. Lovely. Also, good general HVZ numbers. Couple went above 120, which I'm okay with. Alright, one last blaster. So now I'm going to take a look at my modified Hera, which is running on a 3S, so it should get roughly the same numbers as the Proton pack was, but you never know. Nice. A little bit right around the same. Alright. Now for the blue one, and we're going to kind of mag dump it. Very nice. Very nice. But now for tier. I forgot I had to make a few minor upgrades to tier, so it's a little bit later in the evening, but let's see if we can get some numbers out of the orange rounds. That's gorgeous! Alright, time for a 300 round tank dump. Let's go. They're curving a little to the left. I'm not sure why. Probably one of my motors is not spinning as well as the other. Might be time to look into that. Well, they were nice and clean. Now they're filthy. Mud. Yeah, well. Anyway, they all seem to fire pretty good. I didn't have any jams in anything as a result of the ammunition. Now, when firing them at a tier, they did seem to be canting to the left, which I doubt is the result of the ammo. It's more likely that the left motor is starting to go and so isn't spinning as fast as the right one, and it's imparting some kind of spin on them. The motors in here have been in there for a good long while and are probably due to be replaced. Tragic. But we'll see. Anyway, other than that, they seem to fly very nicely, very consistently. I really like the coating that's on there. It seems to be more rubbery than most other brands. And I like the colors. It's a very vibrant orange. It's a much brighter orange than all the other ones, than headshot rounds. And the white is suitably white, and the blue is blue. Yeah. Let's talk some more science and stuff. Alright, let's talk about the consistency of these rounds. One of the big problems we had with a lot of the aftermarket rounds is the weight would be wildly different from one brand to another, and even within the same brand. The dimpling would be very, very different and would affect things. The ridge on them would be different and sometimes inconsistent. The weight was often inconsistent. The actual density as to how much squish they had would be wildly variable. And this led to difficulty in getting your rival blasters to be precise in any way, which is kind of why we went to things like Proton packs, where it didn't really matter. We're just going to send all of the rounds at you at once. But it would be nice if we could get rounds that were more consistent. So let's take a look at them. Let's look at the blue ones first. So one thing I've noticed is they are very uniform, obviously, because they're all from the same manufacturer. The dimpling is very uniform, and the ridges are minimal and fairly consistent, which is really nice. There is some difference in the density, just like with all the rival rounds, even the official Nerf ones. Every once in a while you'll find one that's really soft or one that's really hard. But by far and large, these are much more consistent than a lot of the aftermarket stuff that I've seen. So let's take a look at the weight. 1.73 grams, 1.62 grams, 1.78 grams, 1.73 grams, 1.61, 1.66, 1.76, 1.70, 1.80, 1.71, and 1.77. So within, what, 0.2 of each other, which is pretty good. Let's take a look at some white ones. .15. That is, like I said, every once in a while there is a squishy one, and this one almost looks like a manufacturing flaw because the outer seal is not quite the same. It's a little bit glossier. It looks like something went wrong in the manufacturing on that one. So that would be an outlier. You may choose to remove it or deal with it. Let's take a look at some more. 0.96. 1.94. Scratch that. 1.97. 1.87, 2.04, 1.99, 1.85, 1.84, 1.64, 1.97. So the white ones are consistently heavier than the blue ones, and that may be the difference in whatever the difference is between the white and the blue. You would assume it would just be coloring, but it may be more complicated than that. So if you're looking for heavier rounds, these ones appear to be a little bit heavier. Let's take a look at the X-Strike Orange. .18, or 1.82, sorry. 1.78, 1.65, 1.87, 1.72, 1.65, 1.89, 1.61, 1.65, and 1.68. So the orange ones are closer, comparable to the blue. They're maybe a little bit on average higher. Now let's take a look at a few from the bin. 1.98, 2.20, 2.58, 2.05, 1.81, 2.18, 1.89, 2.20, 2.22, 1.77, 1.93, 1.9, 1.99, 1.93, 2.0. So these ones all seem to be a lot heavier, and that's random draw. But I don't know how well you're going to be able to see, but there is almost no consistency between the rounds. So this is an actual Nerf one. This one has a B on it, but the dimpling pattern is completely different. This one has an H, N, H. So there's Headshot, there's Nerf, there's other, either SH or HS. Very inconsistent. And they all have that, generally all have a logo of some kind, a little marking, brand marking. These ones do not. So they are the same on both sides, which is a little bit more consistent and lovely. The densities on these also vary wildly. So this one is super squishy, this one not so much, this one's in the middle, this one's even squishier than that one. Yeah, there's no consistency at all because of how many different brands of random stuff I have in there. It's nice to have a brand that you just like, I'm just going to get these from now on. I like the colors. I wish they had a green, because that is my other favorite color for rival ammo, is orange and green, but they have the orange, which is very, very bright. It's going to show up easily in the grass. The downside of green is it would just all disappear in the grass, so I will probably just run orange from now on, and I will probably run theirs from now on, because it's cheaper. It's, I think, $4 or $5 cheaper than Headshot ammo, which largely you're not paying for the carabiner or the extra bound. You do, I think they come in packs of 100, so there are slightly fewer rounds than Headshot usually comes in, I think, packs of 110. But if nothing else, you're now supporting Foam Blast and Out of Darts directly, and that, for me, is enough to be worth it. The official colors that they've gone with is Beret Blue for Brett, who sometimes wears a beret, Ghost White, I'm not sure if that's a reference to anything, and X-Strike Orange, which just makes me happy. Now, it's nice to be noticed. So, there you have it. There's my thoughts on them. They're fantastic. Really looking forward to pretty much replacing all of my previous stock. The huge bin or barrel of orange I have is all Headshot orange, so it's good stuff, but I will slowly but surely phase this stuff in. I'll probably use that stuff this summer because I'm going to lose most of it at various events, and then when I start restocking, I will be going to this stuff, so that will be awesome. Thank you guys for sending me the stuff. Thank you guys for doing this sort of thing. That's what I love about Foam Blast and Out of Darts, is they're not just reselling stuff. They are developing stuff constantly. Some of the best motors you can currently get for Nerf, the Michelle 2s, the Fang Revamps, the Krakens, the Valkyries, were all developed and designed by Foam Blast or by Out of Darts, because they just weren't getting the motors that they needed or wanted, and they really wanted us to be able to get them, so they had them made, which is just cool. cool of them. Luke's produced, of course, you know, the Hurricane and the Jupiter and Proton packs and all of that. Foam Blast are just an amazingly awesome force within the community, and I love them, and I'm so glad that this is another way that I can support them, because I'm going to be buying a lot of rival ammo, let's face it. Ah, right. This was awesome. They're awesome. Check out their stuff. Links. Bangarang. Garden weasels, get yourself one.